Hyperradiation at play, baby. We'll get to it in a minute. 2 30-pounders. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Hyperradiation, okay? Ties in directly with the compression that we were talking about yesterday, okay? Fabulous Friday, by the way. Anyway, haven't played a note, let me honk, and we'll talk about hyperradiation. Power, guys, is not to be believed. I wish you were here to hear it. Anyway, E-flat's wide open. Just flying out of the horn. Anyway, a little Crest Baby, a little barbed wire, and here we are. Hyperradiation, guys. We bring the physiology into play. Trust me, you can't go anywhere. Vacchiano, Broyles, Caruso, Claude Gordon, Lynn Nicholson, anybody that talks about hyperradiation. But what you just saw with the 2 30-pound kettlebells, which is not super strong, 60, not super heavy, 60 pounds, the top guys are doing 2-3 times that, okay? I'm not a brute strength kind of kettlebell guy. I'm more a combination of flexibility and endurance and all that. But anyway, so here we are. Wide open E-flats in the whole 9 yards using hyperradiation. Now remember, compression, like we talked about yesterday, is ultimately what we want. But hyperradiation, in a nutshell, incorporating different muscle groups to do a single task, single athletic task, or mowing a lawn, shoveling snow, raking leaves, a single task, using multiple muscle groups to do a single task. That's hyperradiation. The strength, flexibility irradiates throughout the body. Now, think about what I just did with the 2 kettlebells. If my entire core and my trunk, my tushy, my quads, and all that were not engaged in that athletic endeavor, I wouldn't be able to get one off my shoulder. When I know how to compress, when I know how to use the hyperradiation and all the other muscles of the body, they're going like pistons. Okay? My favorite is the pull-up or the chin-up. Pull-up, chin-up. Okay? Now, my chin-up bar is right outside. I don't want to bring the laptop out, blah, blah, blah. Okay? But here's the deal. If you can picture yourself doing a pull-up or a chin-up, okay? If you just hang like a wet noodle, every muscle in your body, and try to pull you up only with your arms, you can't do one. I don't care if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. Arnold Schwarzenegger can't lift his arms above his head anymore. But that's for another day. Okay? But like I just did with the kettlebells, you incorporate the same muscles I'm using for the triple E flat. Same muscles, the core, the joint, everything. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. You're knocking off those pull-ups, chin-ups. Okay? That is what we are after when we are using hyperradiation for double C's. Nothing on this planet trains you better how to incorporate hyperradiation than kettlebells and SFE training, strength, flexibility, and endurance. None. Both for $15. A lot of you took advantage of the sale I'm offering. Anyway, guys, incorporating other muscles. Now, that is not to say that you are tightening up before you play a note. That's not what I'm saying. The compression with the tongue in coordination with all this is going to give you all the compression you need. It's going to create the compression. You don't have to say, oh, double C's coming up, I better tighten up my tushy. No. That's not what you're doing at all. That will happen naturally. The more you can make this firm, the core and everything else has to push against it. And that is going to tighten it up. It just is. And the minute you take the air away, what little we're using, remember we're compressing the air, the minute you take that away, it all just goes like a rag doll. Not even like a rag doll. You end up just tight for no reason. All right? Hyperradiation. Okay? I just used it. That was the tongue pressed against the soft inner red of the bottom lip in coordination with other muscles of the body to give you that tone, power, range, and endurance. Now, this is going to sound familiar. The orchestral guys. Relax every muscle. Guys, it's asinine. It makes no sense. Guys, now, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not going to use a name. I'm not going to use it. Because I was doing the same thing how many years ago before I figured that out. I was sitting there with Vacchiano long tones. Nice, relax. No, I'm more relaxed than any of them. Completely relaxed. I go to Vacchiano. I go up to any of those guys. Any of the orchestra players, they can't play like that. They're tight as a drum. They're tight as a drum. They are not among the dozens of mistakes they are making. In my opinion, one of them is they are not incorporating hyperradiation because they have no compression. They can't even if they wanted to. All right? All right. Guys, have a great weekend. And I will, I should have some news for you about the channel next week. We'll see. All right? I'm going to keep it under wraps for the time being. Anyway, eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Not the fake stuff, true power. Love you all.